What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas. Tonight, I'm here with our co-host, Rome. How you doing tonight, man?
Loving wrestling. I love professional wrestling.
Absolutely. We're also here with our special guest co-host, Forrest. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I am great show. Very happy. Good times.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, wow, we'll just get started right with it. The big announcement from Tony Khan. He teared up a little bit as he was talking about the creation of AEW and how 17 years ago another company was started that was vital in helping start up AEW, and that was Ring of Honor. He is now the new proud owner of Ring of Honor Wrestling. I do believe that comes with the entire library and everything, so he now finally owns the rights to the footage from All In, and we can now complete the story. How you guys feeling about that?
So the ramifications of this are completely massive, not just in the sense of possible storylines. I mean, you are correct. They do own the rights to the content, the video library. This is all around a really huge acquisition. I mean, uh, the amount of content that they're bringing in here is is just phenomenal. I mean, a big rumor going around for the news tonight was that Tony Khan is in talks to get, AEW featured on HBO Max. And I think that this is actually a really big deal in terms of getting that deal done. I think that you're talking about the amount of content AEW has over 3 years. It's a lot, but we're talking about 20 years of Ring of Honor content, um, with a lot of relevant content too, not just professional wrestling. In AEW's statement saying that they bought Ring of Honor, they mentioned that more than 40 members of the AEW roster have appeared in Ring of Honor during their careers. Um, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna like, it's crazy. It's like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Hangman Page, Britt Baker, and Adam Cole. That's the first line. You can keep going, and it's Brody Lee, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, reDRagon, Best Friends, Jay Lethal, Christopher Daniels, like it's 40 guys. There's 40 names here. Eddie Kingston, Evil Uno, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Jerry Lynn. It's a lot, and it goes a long way in AEW kind of having that content ready to go for streaming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
most definitely.
I was
Sorry, go
actually
ahead.
surprised WWE didn't go after it because they have quite a few wrestlers from Ring of Honor as well.
Well, the interesting thing was Fightful reported that there was actually two buyers or two bidders, down towards the end, I believe. They said that they did have one, and then they decided to go in another direction, which we now know is Tony Khan buying it. Um, Fightful is also reporting they've heard sales numbers of between 20 and 40 million right now, for the deal. Which, I mean, in the gaming industry, that's nothing, but $40 million is still $40 million.
hmm It's huge. It's huge that the library they're getting, the I don't know if they're getting, well, nobody's signed right now, right? Because they all got released from their contracts and then we're on per show deals,
Yeah,
right? So there's not really
I believe
too
there was a
many.
few people that were left on their deals. I believe Jonathan Gresham was one of them, and a couple of other people. But
So,
I
so
believe most
Fightful's
of this was
actually
already agreed upon because they've been talking. They have to have been in talks for this for a long time. So I believe this was pretty much when Ring of Honor shut down. Is more than likely when this deal started to go through, and I think they made most of those deals at that time.
So Fightful also reported that even Jonathan Gresham's contract had expired about a week or two after their last show.
Okay.
Um, in terms of who's still under contract, Fightful is saying there's very few people remaining. They did retain their PR representative. They do have planned dates through the end of the year to tape television. We don't know what those dates, whether they're going to be fulfilled or not. We don't know if Sinclair Syndication, who is kind of the distributor of Ring of Honor, we don't know if they're included in this deal, what that's going to look like. Um, I mean, again, the ramifications of it, what Tony Khan can do with Ring of Honor, there's a lot of things he could do. This could be, maybe a brand split even. We could see, the biggest criticism I feel like of All Elite Wrestling is the fact that their roster is so stacked that people don't have time to shine. I mean, you just went out and purchased another company. I mean, why not have a Thursday night Ring of Honor show? I mean, like, why
Yeah.
not?
Well, yeah, and you mentioned with the HBO Max potential deal, that could be huge. That could also like potentially you could just play old you could have like a HBO Max channel that just plays old ROH matches randomly, and then at the same time you could put on like a Thursday, like you could put on that Thursday show exclusive to HBO Max. It, it it's the potential for this is now you're looking at a company that is the size of the other company.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
you and it's like a pro wrestling company. It's like it's now the purest like pro wrestling versus sports entertainment.
Yep. Absolutely. So
I also think
I'm
it's
glad.
ironic.
I'm really happy with what they did to the beginning match here. They gave us a nice like Ring of Honor match. Brian Danielson and Christopher Daniels. I was really, really happy with this because I actually never thought I was going to see him wrestle in AEW again. And this was very refreshing to get to see him back in the ring.
Yeah, I thought the historical significance of this match was so important because it, like they were saying on commentary, it was the first main event of the first ROH show. It was Brian Danielson and Christopher Daniels. They even had Paul Turner, who was the original referee for that match. Um, the first match right here in Philly. Shout out to our hometown.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, this was a fantastic match. It's kind of not being talked about, but yeah, this was Christopher Daniels' first match on TV since I believe it was May 12th of last year. So it was,
Young Bucks match, yeah.
it's been a minute. And yeah, I thought this was an excellent match. I would say it was sentimental. I thought it was a very sentimental match. I think Tony Khan really killed it. This was the perfect way to follow up with that announcement. It was a very ROH style match.
Yeah, I love how they started off with the observing the code of honor, the handshake. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's that's cool. It's a neat little thing that differentiates the brand, and they went with those rules for that. It was really cool, and that was like a 20-year match, and you get to see it come to fruition. Or would this be the third or the second? They said
I think it was the second.
Yeah, I'm not
so. It was
sure. I
the
missed that part.
rematch. So it was the rematch. So that's monumental, And then also like they used it to. It's like they didn't get hung up too much in the moment. They used it to continue the story. That they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're still telling this story. It's the ability to spin multiple plates, which is something that they're fairly good at.
Extremely good. Yeah, it's Tony Khan is a very talented man. He's able to do this while running an American football team and a European football team. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's wild. I can't even imagine. But yeah, thought this was a really good match. Christopher Daniels really gave it his all. For a guy that, I mean, I think he's done a few matches outside of AEW in the last few months, but for a guy that generally hasn't been working much, he looked pretty damn good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. There was a time where I thought he was kind of declining, but then I don't know what he did, but he stepped it up. And
Yeah. No,
so,
he no ring rust. No ring rust. Looked good.
no, yeah, he looked great. So, my favorite part of the match actually came right after the match when Brian Danielson shook his lifeless body's hand. And I kind of knew it right away, the way he was holding him. I was like, oh God, he's going to stomp his face in. And sure enough, he stomped his head in. And it was pretty brutal, man.
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to get us back on track for the pay-per-view, because while this is a monumental announcement and match, this is the go home show for Revolution, and I really love how seamlessly they kind of brought it right back to the focus, where it was like, no, I mean, okay, so Brian Danielson's beating the shit out of Christopher Daniels, and he's talking about how he's gonna kick Moxley's head in, and Mox comes out. And yeah, I thought it was great. I thought Mox gave a really passionate promo at the end, and man, like I think I said this the last 2 episodes of the Dynamite recap pod, but like I'm just so sold on this pay-per-view. Like we didn't even need to have a go home show today. Go home show tonight. I've been so sold on this pay-per-view for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy. This card is crazy. It's I don't want to like spoil it or anything because I don't know what we're doing with it later in the podcast. But I'm so excited for this paper.
Yeah, same here, same here. So next up we had a little promo from Sting and Darby. It was just kind of meh. They just kind of, wasn't anything special about it, but it was there.
Yeah, I mean, it was setting up for a Rampage match that was announced in this promo.
Yeah.
I thought that Sting kind of sold it pretty well.
Yeah.
Saying suspensions and fines, no one gets involved. But yeah, it was another one of these quick little transition promos, maximizing your TV time. It's super important to do
And
that.
I started figuring out who these are for. I don't think this is actually for us on TV and as the audience. I think it's for the people in the audience. It's to let them know, like, hey, after here, Rampage is coming. Here's what you guys get. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That would make the most sense. It's kind of like, oh, and then like, so that's going to be the main event of Rampage, most likely. It's a triple threat for the TNT title.
Yep, on Rampage, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
All right, so next up is the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. I somehow was able to keep notes on this, so I'm just kind of.
I tried.
I'm gonna run through it. If it's not perfect, bear with it. But I mean, I think I did a pretty good job. Okay, so the match starts. FTR enters number 1, and Top Flight is the surprise tag team entrant. Darius Martin returns.
Darius is back.
Which, man, everyone's been so hyped about Dante Martin. Like throughout this match, we'll talk about it a little bit, but Darius is just as good as his brother. Like
He is.
They are a great tag team, and I think everybody forgot because Darius was out for like over a year. But man, really, really great spot. They looked great today. So after that, the Acclaimed enters number 3. Max Caster's rap was incredible. I love the ROH line, and the Glenn Jacobs line at the end killed me. I lost it. I marked out so bad because it was such a number 1 awful takes from Kane. Just like the awful takes. Like I'm sorry, but awful takes. But like that rap was awesome.
Yeah.
Next up, 5 and 10 of the Dark Order enter. Afterwards, Butcher and Blade enter. First person eliminated is 5 Allen Angels. Varsity Blondes enter next. Bear Country enters during the commercial break. I almost missed it, but I caught it in time for them to be eliminated, which they are right after Santana and Ortiz come in. Max Caster gets eliminated. The Best Friends come out. Griff Garrison gets eliminated. This was it was moving pretty quickly at this point. It was your standard fare for a battle royal.
Yeah.
Evil Uno and Stu Grayson enter. Blade gets eliminated shortly after. Butcher gets eliminated. Young Bucks enter. Then the Ass Boys enter. Which that's a great line right there. The Ass Boys enter. I like that. That's great. And then they get eliminated pretty quickly after, almost immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was right away.
Big Shotty and Brock Anderson come out. Arn Anderson, who is now wearing AEW polos. It's still a work. Don't worry. Cody Rhodes will be back.
Yeah.
And which, like, especially now, like Edge and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Okay, so yeah, Cody's not going to the Fed.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. Let's see here. After that, 10 gets eliminated. Now, did you guys catch the mask issue with 10 again?
No.
Yeah, we think. Yeah. So Bowens turned the mask. Yeah. Bowens turned his mask and then hit him in the side of the head, and that was what caused the elimination. And then commentary did an amazing job in this battle royal, by the way. I just wanted to shout them out. There was a couple spots where commentary was like on fire. But yeah, they also pointed out the fact that this is the second time his mask has gotten in the way. So they're probably going to remove his mask.
Yeah, they're teaming him up with 5 as well. Damn it, I don't want him to lose his mask.
I'm thinking that this match it goes beyond that. I mean, obviously, I've been begging for them to do something interesting with the Dark Order.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this leads to 10 breaking off.
I actually
Maybe
see
this
a
leads
few of
to
them
issues in
breaking
the Dark
off.
Order.
Yeah. I see a split coming soon. They started calling Evil Uno and Grayson the originals. I don't know if you heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I did. So next up, Chuck Taylor was eliminated, which made me sad. The Wingmen were in the match and eliminated. I did not realize that they were in the match until they were eliminated because they came out during the picture.
I was the same with Shoddy and Arn Anderson's son, Brock. I was like, wait, when were they in there? I saw him walking off. I was like, oh, okay.
So 2.0 enter at this point, and then Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson get eliminated. Anthony Bowens gets eliminated. Danhausen appears, and he curses, I believe it was 2.0.
He cursed Uno.
Uno, you're right.
He cursed Evil Uno. I was so sad.
He came out, cursed Uno. But
I audibly screamed, no.
A little bit there. Uno was working the heel a little bit there. It's okay.
I know. They're my 2 favorites right now. I couldn't know, man.
I know. Yeah, so Uno gets eliminated because he was cursed. I also noticed at this point that I always forget that JR really hates this type of shit. Because he's like, oh really? He got cursed? Like, JR, let us have our fun, okay? Yeah. We like professional wrestling. We like the serious shit, but we also like the funny stuff. It's pro wrestling's beautiful because you get all of it in one package. But yeah, JR was kind of shitting on that spot, but it's fine. I still love JR. Santana Ortiz get eliminated. Trent gets eliminated. Dante and Cash Wheeler get double eliminated. At this point, we're down to Dax, Darius, and the Bucks. reDRagon comes out and they interfere. They get Dax eliminated. So it kind of comes down to Darius and the Bucks, and kind of had an idea that Bucks were winning this match anyway. You kind of get to this point where it's like, okay, well, this is either going to be what you expect, which will still be a great match, or a crazy upset. And they made Darius look really good here. It was really cool for them to give Darius the spot over Dante, especially with him coming back from injury. I loved his kneecap stomp spot where he I don't know, he threw Nick's leg and Matt caught it, kind of like what Evil Uno does, but Evil Uno can't get as high up as Darius. So.
Yeah, Darius got up real high, and the way I also like how they sold it, where he twisted out of it, which made it look way worse. Very, 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 very nice.
Yeah, I'll say that this is probably like the ending of this battle royal might be one of my favorite like battle royal endings like ever. Like especially when it got down to Matt and Darius, just the back and forth. Brandon Cutler got involved a little bit to save Nick, but Nick gets eliminated regardless.
Dude, it's been a long time since I've gotten anxiety like at the end of a battle royal match, you know what I mean? Because I'm usually not super into that style of a match, especially since like the Royal Rumble's been so bad the last few years. But dude, I actually got anxiety when it was down to the Bucks, Top Flight, and FTR, like full teams left. Like my chest started pounding. I was like, oh shit, I got butterflies. Like this match was really, really good.
Yeah,
you were professionally entertained.
Yeah, Tony Khan's been killing it with these battle royals. You know, I was actually a little skeptical about this match coming into it. I was like, oh, they just did a tag team battle royal 2 weeks ago, or like last week, whatever it was. Like, is this really gonna like do as well? And like, I thought this was better than last week's. I think this was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. It's like, well, they have two different vibes. I think they did Over the Top and then so everybody started in the ring together, and then this is like Royal Rumble-esque, where they come out slowly, and it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun, and both are good. But to use them both, I'm very curious about this story leading into Rampage. And I'm very, very like, this is one of my most anticipated matches because I'm just like, I was a UE fan, and I'm also a Young Bucks fan, and I'm just like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, I think this is a very intriguing story that they're telling here. A lot of unique storytelling going into Revolution, and all around, hands down, just gotta give it to the company. Like, this is like, these storylines have been very unique. I think almost every match on this card has had some really unique storytelling, and it's hats off to them.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Real quick here, I just want to throw this out here before I forget. Wrestle Purists are reporting that a source inside AEW is confirming that Ring of Honor will be a developmental territory, and main roster AEW talent will dip into the Ring of Honor brand on occasion. So it looks like Ring of Honor is going to be their NXT. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild when you think about it, because it's like AEW doesn't really like exist without ROH, because ROH obviously with All In, like they really kind of like footed that bill. Like, they supplied a lot of stuff to make that show happen.
Mhm.
And like, All In's the proof of concept for AEW. So AEW exists because of All In. Odds are ROH's financial issues definitely stem from AEW becoming a powerhouse in the market,
Yeah.
and then AEW buys them. Like, it's just, life is really funny, and
Yeah.
this
All right.
story is also very funny.
So we'll
But
go
I think
over that
was
actually
great.
at the end. That's a really good topic to go over once we get to the end here. Let's get back to the finish of this match. So it was both Young Bucks versus Darius, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it was both Young Bucks versus Darius. Nick gets eliminated. Comes down to Matt and Darius, and they have a really, really good sequence of, like you said, Jeff, a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, oh man, a lot of close eliminations. Gets down to it, you got a heel and a baby face on the side. Darius is trying to punch him and, win the clean way. Matt just takes the low road, gives the low blow, and waves goodbye. Super kick party, and the Young Bucks are going to Revolution.
Yep.
I loved that super kick. It was like the most showboaty, perfectly measured. It was like the 1 inch. It was the heel 1 inch punch of super kicks.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's so much sass on this kick, and I love it. I'm
Now,
here for the sass. Give
I
me more of this.
I do want to put a special mention on the low blow from Matt Jackson at the end there, because with the dissension in the ranks, with the elite, I was kind of seeing the Bucks almost turning face there a little bit, not quite being such heels, but that low blow, they definitely solidified, we're not turning face. So
Not yet.
not happening.
No, it's not going to happen until Kenny comes back.
Right.
Yep,
Most
true that. I think that's when we're going to get our trios belts too, but we'll talk about that later as well.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, we had the Jericho promo. It's really odd for me to think of Eddie Kingston in a babyface capacity, but I think we're just going to have to think of these as just two dudes who want to fight. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a heel babyface wrestling match. Like, these just two dudes want to kick each other's ass. Okay.
I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I think this is I think this is clearly Jericho working as a heel.
The
Yeah.
influencer.
And Eddie Kingston is definitely working as a face. Again, really unique storytelling here. I love how meta this is, where it's just like, it's very real in a sense, where Jericho's talking the professional wrestling business to Eddie Kingston like he is a rookie.
Yeah.
It's like he's using terms, like babyface last week, the terminology this week. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, and it's actually very funny that in this week's promo, to him, he said promo, and he's like, that means the conversation we had. And it's like Eddie Kingston's known for his great heartfelt like promos, so much to the point that ever since he's become a babyface after the whole exploding death barbed wire thing, he's kind of been a babyface since then, in my opinion. And there was points where he was closing the shows with like crazy like heartfelt speeches, and like but for that's just, I was like, ooh, that's a little extra sting. Like, if for him to explain what a promo is to Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like, it's light meta. It's light meta storytelling, you know?
Now, something that I didn't expect to happen was at the end there, Santana and Ortiz walked up and they all they fist bumped, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I thought it was really weird, and like I also kind of thought like it's not really a great look for Santana and Ortiz, because it's like the storylines right now is Jericho's holding us down. We never get opportunities. We're gonna leave Jericho, and then they go out and get 2 opportunities 2 weeks in a row, and they fucking lose, and they're just like, all right, we're sorry, you were right.
Yes, I think that is what they were trying to convey. And
but they didn't want to say it in words. They just wanted to be like, we're cool again. We went out, we tried, we failed. It wasn't just your fault. We need to do better. And I thought it was kind of funny.
It's also a little weird.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little weird because we're talking about how Jericho is literally, Jericho had this, he was doing an insulting I know better than you heel promo to Eddie Kingston, and then has a babyface moment with his team, a heartfelt babyface moment with the Inner Circle. That's where I was like, maybe he's gonna turn on them at Revolution or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, we're all pretty savvy into the, picking things out and stuff. So I'm looking at it from the point of like AEW is trying to grow an audience, right? So let's say you got some new viewers tonight. I don't think they understood what happened there. So just one sentence from Jericho, maybe like, I didn't really think of what he could have said, but something could have been said just real quick, like a 3 or 4 second, and they could have been like, yeah, man, we know, and something like that rather than just the fist bump,
Yeah, well, they fist bump, and then he's like, we're good, and then it cut to commercial.
Yeah.
So I don't, and it was a question, and then Ortiz shakes his head yes, it looks like in response.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was like, this is, I don't know. I could have done without this part.
Yeah.
Personally, and then do it after. Do it during. Do it before the pay-per-view. Do it not right 2 seconds after you just cut a heel promo.
Yeah. All right, so next up, Rome, go ahead and take it away.
I didn't ask to, and I'm so glad that you knew I wanted to take this. So the next segment is CM Punk. He comes out very serious yet somber. White t-shirt, jeans, white sneaks. No fanfare really. Yes, he comes out to his music, but generally speaking, he clearly has a lot on his mind. This was a perfect response to last week's promo. This entire segment, Punk talks about, he used to wake up in the morning, look himself in the mirror, and say, am I the bad guy? Because we talked about this last week, where everybody's the hero in their own story. Very rarely is it, in your own story, are you the villain? Punk is cautious of MJF's words last week. He believes that they really happened, but he's not sure about how genuine he's being in the present. Punk has seen some shit from MJF. He's talked about all the awful, awful things that MJF has done in AEW. And Punk drops the line, hurt people hurt people. He calls out MJF, and MJF comes out, no music, once again, really, really selling it. And, he said, Punk says, I used to be you. Punk kind of goes over all the awful things he did as a heel when he was at the Fed, including dumping Paul Bearer's ashes onto the Undertaker after about a week after Paul Bearer passed. And I was reminded of how bad of a heel Punk was, or how great of a heel, I guess you should say. But so Punk says things like, "I'm trying to be the good guy here." Offers a handshake. MJF hugs him. MJF then finally, the swerve happens. He low blows Punk. Takes off his suit jacket, and his T-shirt is the picture of when they met when he was a kid, which I was on Twitter. It is a shirt at AEWshop.com that you can buy, which is great.
I was hoping so.
And then, yeah, it is. And then it really took a serious turn. Punk gets busted open. The beatdown begins. MJF brings out the Pinnacle. Punk gets really badly busted open.
Hardway,
they
by
use
the
the
way.
dog collar. Yeah, they use the dog collar to kind of set Punk up on the ropes. MJF says, the greatest trick that the devil pulled is to convince people that he's not real. I'm the devil. Punk gets hung up on the rope. And we get the ending of the segment with Sting and Sammy and Darby coming out. This was excellent storytelling. It's just phenomenal stuff. I think this is the feud of the year. I mean, I know it's February, or I'm sorry, it's March now, but I don't know what can top this. I think this is just S plus tier storytelling, and we're gonna get a really, really heartfelt and brutal match at Revolution. This was excellent for me. This is just my wheelhouse. This was excellent.
Yeah, this whole thing beginning to end really, really, really did it for me, because after last week I was left a little bit conflicted with, like, do I really want to see CM Punk kick this kid's ass now? And then when CM Punk stuck his hand out for the handshake and he hugged him, I was like, oh man, this part's real. And then he's going to turn on, you know what I mean? Like, I could just see it coming. For a second it was real, and then the turn was coming, and I knew it was going to be a kick in the nuts. That's just, I don't know why, but something in my head was like, he's going to kick CM Punk right in his nuts. And sure enough, it happened. And I don't know if you noticed, but the bleeding was literally from MJF giving him a left hand to the forehead like 5 times. I think he was purposely trying to open him up, which is also the purpose of the 2 white shirts. And it took about 5 shots before he opened him up. And after it was said and done, I don't know if you saw before the doctor got the napkin over his head, but it swelled up into, it's called a hematoma kind of sort of, but since he was bleeding, I don't know if you can call that a hematoma, but it was pretty nasty. I hope that doesn't affect the match coming up on Sunday.
I don't think it will. I think we're gonna get this match no matter what.
Yeah.
He might have a bump or a nice gash that will, he owes him one now, so to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it helps the storytelling. I thought that there was a lot of symbolism in this match. Like you said, the white shirts, MJF taking Punk's blood and wiping it across the picture on his shirt.
Yep.
There are 3 things I want to address in this segment. One, you mentioned that they were selling the shirt. I want the shirt I want a shirt that is that picture but with the blood stain. That's the third I want.
With
That's
hand,
the better
like
shirt.
a streak of blood across
but if you're smart, you sell both. And they will probably sell both. Second, the crowd, I think, was turning on Punk in the middle of it. They were booing. They're like, this promo sucked. I heard a couple people in the crowd screaming. It might have just been one guy, and it's because Daly's place, I think, is smaller.
Yeah.
So it echoes really loudly. And this guy was screaming like, I guess he's just not a CM Punk fan or something. And he's just like, this promo sucks. And he's like screaming and stuff. And I was like, that kind of took me out of it a little bit. But also I was confused the whole time. And then when they went for the hug, then he swerved. then I was like, oh, okay, the world makes sense again. Never mind, we're good. Like, so
Well, I think it was just great because, you know, all of those things happened. Like, at no point does MJF say like that didn't happen. Like, no, like that stuff happened. It was I still feel like we got the origin story to the villain of AEW
Hey,
with this feud. Um,
guys,
and
real
it's
quick, Uncle Dax from FTR just tweeted. Now, it's part of a string of tweets where he was basically promising to win tonight. And somebody on Twitter was like, "What are you going to do if you lose?" And he said, "We'll retire." And he just said, "Guys, I'm sticking to my word. FTR is now retired. Thank you all for 8 great years. Top guys out." That's from the
I don't know
checkmark
about that.
account too.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know about that.
With
Yeah, they're
absolutely
retired from A.
no. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're retired from AEW so that they can go be the ROH Tag Team Champions. So the first one's down there.
Oh, nice, dude. With a new name.
Yeah, it would probably have to be something like that because I can't see that with no fanfare at all because I didn't even know about that. So it's like, all right, well, they didn't even mention it on the show. They weren't even really featured when they got eliminated. Like, I don't know about that. That's
Hey, there's their new name too, Top Guys. They told us.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. They're gonna show up in ROH as top guys instead of FTR. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a work,
I'm
brother.
down.
and then they're gonna debut with Cody in ROH. There we go. But so then the but yeah, no, it was a really good segment altogether, and I'm even more excited for the Rampage match now, or not Rampage, Revolution match now.
Yeah. And we had Darby, Sting, and Sammy come out for the save. Are those the 3 that are wrestling at the pay-per-view? Because that was like an odd combination.
No, it's oh yeah, it is. It's Sting, Darby, and Sammy. They're teaming up.
Okay, that's what I
I also
thought.
thought it was kind of a weird spot for them to get involved, but I guess they needed somebody to go out there and end it. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they're 3 baby faces that, you know.
Yeah, and Darby and Sting makes sense, and then I guess because Sammy's kind of pseudo in their team right now, they kind of went with them too. I guess was the reasoning behind Sammy being there. If Darby and Sting were the only 2 to come out, makes sense. If Sammy coming out was the only one, I was like, oh, Sammy's here.
Oh yeah. Somebody's wondering if Alan Angels is actually injured or not. Did you guys see FTR throw him over and he landed on the stage?
No, I did not see that.
He just
I
landed
saw
there
the
and
landing,
did
but
not
I
move,
don't.
man. He just, like a pile of bricks, just plopped onto the ground. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I hope he's not injured, but
All
yeah,
right, so
he's very talented. So
next, I don't know if this came up next, but did you guys see during the commercial break that they had an entire commercial segment for Hook, and it was amazing?
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
had that commercial actually every few weeks they have it air. It's aired before, but it's a very cool commercial and it's Hook's just everything.
I haven't seen that yet. That was awesome. I was like, I like popped for a commercial. I couldn't believe it.
Also, the fact that they're just like, yes, we have this one wrestler. He gets commercials.
Yeah.
It's great.
So we had a quick segment with Keith Lee. I think he looked amazing. I still can't. It drives me crazy that people online are saying like his friends are worried about his health, and I'm like, tell me which friends. Quote them for me, because I would love to hear which ones. Nobody's saying that. It's just it drives me crazy that people are trying to say that about him. He looks great.
Yeah, I mean, it's storylines coming out of the Fed. They're trying to give you some false news. I don't want to compare the Fed to world events, but
Yeah.
it could be done. I'm not going to do it, but it could be done.
Yep.
Well, basically, I don't know what's going. I did see that report. That is a very weird report. And as a Keith Lee fan, I'm like, no, he moved well. He didn't seem blown up from throwing his Cassidy or yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't Private Party. He didn't seem blown up throwing them around. He caught them. He had no issues with any of his spots.
Yeah, he was barely sweating at the end. He was fine.
Yeah, and since then he's only had like 2 talking promos. So I think he's okay. I don't know what they're talking about per se.
Yeah. I can't wait to see him and Big Willie Hobbs go at it though. That's gonna be an amazing match. I mean, we're gonna see them at the Revolution ladder match, but I believe they're insinuating this is gonna be a longer feud between the two.
Probably.
You guys think so?
Yeah. That's the rule. You have to go through Team Taz when you debut.
Yeah.
True.
That's you start with Team Taz, and then we see then your story. No, I'm kidding. But
Yeah.
I actually like a lot of Team Taz. I'm very, very excited for that ladder match. Oh my god. I like forget that the ladder match is on there, and then I remember, and then I get even more excited to see Keith Lee in another ladder match. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I can't wait. And then you got Wardlow in there, and you got Ricky Starks, and you got Hobbs, and it's like it's gonna be good.
Orange Cassidy, I'm usually excited for him to be in there, but for this match, I'm like, man, I hope somebody just smashes him and he lays on the outside for a while.
Don't you dare! Don't say that! Don't say that to me. Why would you say that to me?
It'll be okay. He'll be fine.
You're just trying to hurt me.
I know.
I want everybody to get their spots in. I want to see some cool stuff. Hopefully there's a couple star-making performances. Everybody gets their moment, and then some people get to go even further beyond. You know, so it's like I'm so excited for this match.
All right, so next up we had the Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez match. I think this was the first time we got to see Mercedes Martinez with her entrance, but I liked her music and I liked her little mask thing she had on. It looked good.
I think she had her entrance last week, or whenever she had the angle with Thunder Rosa in their match.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she had her entrance then, because I was like, oh yeah, I saw her mask again, and I remember recognizing it. I was like, hey, the mask is still cool. That's the only reason I know it. I was like, oh yeah, that's a cool mask. Oh yeah, I've seen that. So
yeah, I thought it was a good match. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the finish at all.
It did something seem off or wrong with timing or something? Is it just me? Something like was Jamie Hayter hurt because she kept not standing on the apron, and she kept like staying down?
Yeah.
Did anyone? Did either of you notice that?
I think it's the setup at Daly's place, because the entrance stage is there where, you know, they were supposed to stand on the apron, but yeah, it was a little odd.
Well, no, because they were standing on the other side of.
Oh, you're right. They were on the heel side, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. It was very weird.
Yeah.
I kind of want to hope that Jamie Hayter's hurt, but I'm kind of hoping that Britt ate the pin because Jamie couldn't get in the ring to do it. Because I did not agree with Thunder Rosa winning this match. Because history would tell you if Thunder Rosa's pinning the champ the night before the pay-per-view, or the show before the pay-per-view, it's not usually a good look for her winning at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think Thunder Rosa absolutely needs to win the women's title at Revolution. I think she's extremely over. I think Britt has gotten stale. I think just it's the right time to do that. And this match does not bode well for that outcome. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope everyone's cool, okay, because I was just like, I was noticing, I was like, somebody hurt? Like, that's, yeah. But also, yeah, I did, and that is also the first time I really noticed that the hard cam was in a different spot.
Yeah, it's a Daly's Place thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone noticed, JR was hinting at the tag team championships for the ladies, it seemed like. He kept mentioning Thunder Rosa and Mercedes continuing their tag team as a long-term thing.
Maybe.
No, I didn't
Maybe
pick up
that's
on that.
why she got the pin today.
That's true. That's true. So I agree with you. I didn't like the finish on this match. I didn't think Rosa should have, used a single finisher to Britt and pinned her like that. Major champion look a little weak going into the pay-per-view, but we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Next up, we went backstage and we had a segment with Wardlow and started off with Shawn Spears. But this escalated quickly with MJF coming in with a towel wiping blood off his hands. This was crazy.
Yeah, it was very like this is a great segment. I like that this is setting up this is the next storyline. Like for MJF, Wardlow's probably, I have a feeling Wardlow narratively, I don't know if we're doing predictions or not later, but like Wardlow is my pick to win because it'll create more issues within that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do our predictions
Sorry.
after Rampage. That'll be a good way to extend our Rampage coverage a little bit.
There you go.
So we're talking the Wardlow promo right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was Wardlow was in action before this squash match against Cesar Bononi.
Yes.
Oh, you're
which-
right. Yeah.
There was also there was a Jade Cargill promo as well, which was also great.
Yeah.
But out of all these things, I would say that the Wardlow promo was really, really good. After the match, Shawn Spears attempts to hit Bononi with the chair. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Wardlow stops him.
That's right.
And we see the next meme of Shawn Spears can't even look Wardlow in the eye. He just feels so like this guy could kill me right now. And then like you said, we do have Wardlow backstage, and MJF comes up. He says, if you win the ladder match, you win the title. You can keep the title, big man, because I'm such a nice guy. Not that I think you're going to win it anyway. And then Wardlow responds with, yeah, I probably won't win it because I keep I'm the only reason that you keep winning your matches. And things get really heated. MJF slaps the shit out of Wardlow. And we are on the brink of a really, really great storyline coming up.
Yeah, he slapped the shit out of Wardlow, man. I was like, man, he's gonna choke slam him right here, but I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah. That was a he sold the slap well too afterwards as well. Like doing the check as the camera fades away.
Yeah, checking his
Very
lip.
nice. Yeah. It was good, and also it was good in reminding the audience of like, oh yeah, he doesn't work for AEW.
Yeah, that's been the ongoing story, which I just know we're coming up to the part where Wardlow's going to win the TNT title probably, and then MJF's going to fire him. And he's like, you can't hold that title. You don't work for AEW. You don't even work for me anymore. You're fired. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And then Tony Khan's just like, actually, Wardlow is all elite. And then you're going to get the whole the whole thing. You'll get the whole tweet. It's like, welcome to the team, Wardlow, even though you've been here since day one.
Yo, crazy coincidence. Somebody just pointed out yesterday, Swerve Scott, he's formerly from NXT. He's going as Swerve the Realist, I believe now. He tweeted out the Ring of Honor Supercard is Friday, April 1st. And now that we've had Tony Khan reveal he bought it, everyone's like freaking out, like, holy shit. They're like, this dude's playing chess.
Yeah, everyone playing checkers and this man's playing chess.
It could be a supercard. Look out for that. I mean, it's called a supercard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's called the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor.
There you go. But we are going to talk a little bit more, I think, later on about ROH. So
yeah,
let's stay on track.
Yeah, go for it.
Next up, we had a segment. Oh, I'm sorry.
There was a House of Black promo in there, right?
There it is. Yes, the House of Black promo. this was great. I mean, House of Black is just doing phenomenal work right now.
Mhm.
This was more of a continuation of introducing Buddy Matthews
Yeah.
to AEW audiences. Um, can't wait to see what they're doing post Revolution. Let's get the. I mean, they've been on Dynamite weekly with their promos, but like, let's get these guys in the arena a little bit more. I want to see more really badly.
Yep.
They're
Agree.
all extremely good in ring.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
they can put on like Kenny Omega level clinics. There's not a feud that calls for it yet that they've had, because they're kind of doing this trios tag team thing right now, and that's what they're setting up for. It looks like that's why they brought him in, and then also Death Triangle. They're probably going to be the first like 2 teams to maybe be in like whatever. They'll probably do a tournament or something. I don't know. Totally speculating.
Yeah.
But like, again, all 3 of these men can individually go and go hard, and it's like, I just want to see that. Like, I know what Aleister Black can do. I know what Matthews can do. I'm not too familiar with Brody King, but I've seen a few clips, and he's pretty good too, from what I see. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want them. I want them to go into the ring, and I want them to pop off. You know.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed so far with all 3 of them. So, like to see where this leads to.
Yep, definitely.
All right. I think last was our our main event here, Adam Cole and reDRagon versus Adam Page and the Dark Order. We had John Silver and Alex Reynolds. With this match, everybody except for Colt Cabana, or everybody in the Dark Order except for Colt Cabana was on the show. So
Yeah,
that was
I mean, first
interesting.
time in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought this was a really good match leading up to the pay-per-view. I liked the build-up of, getting to the point where we had Page and Adam Cole kind of face-to-face in the ring, and getting a little bit of action going there. But yeah, I thought this was an all-around a really great match to close out the go-home show.
Yeah, John Silver's exciting as hell to watch. Every time he hot tags in, man, it's just like I actually like sit up in my seat when he hot tags in. It's great.
It's like an explosion. That's what I mean
Yeah.
when I say pop off. That's how you pop off. You know.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And like you were saying, Rome, that when Page and Cole got into it 1-on-1, there was a lariat to Adam Cole from Page that, my God, he did like a backflip and a half. I thought he killed him.
Yeah, it was a very hard-hitting match. I really enjoyed it.
All right, and then now once again, Alex Reynolds has taken the pin. I think in every available scenario with Alex Reynolds in the ring with the Dark Order, he has taken the pin over the past couple months. So I think that was another one of my. I think a couple of guys maybe breaking off with 10, and I think it may be those 3. I think it may be 10. 5 Alan Angels and Alex Reynolds there.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be Alan Angels would be the guy in the Dark Order that would eat all the pins, and now it's just it's Reynolds. I mean, that's just kind of his spot. He's the least over member of the Dark Order.
True.
It's just kind of what I mean. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, every faction needs that guy that's kind of like the weak link, but I mean, Alex Reynolds doesn't really do anything that stands out. He's a solid wrestler, a great wrestler, but he's funny on BT. That's my favorite thing about him. But
Yeah, and it's also it's literally, when you look at that match, the construction of that match, there's only 2 options to eat the pin, and it is both on the babyface side. And it's probably not going to be the guy that the crowd pops for super hard, aka John Silver. And then also, when you need him for an emotional angle to be beat down in front of the champion, in the next segment.
Yeah.
So
I thought-
it really narrowed it down that it had to be Alex Reynolds. Because I don't think the
True.
crowd would have, not to be rude to Alex Reynolds, and I'm actually a very big fan of him. They wouldn't have cared as much.
Yeah. He is the, I hate to say it, but least important guy out there.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you can't.
I agree.
The reDRagons aren't losing. Cole's not losing. Hangman's not losing. None of them are eating that pin.
Yeah.
They all got high profile matches, and all of them are in a championship match, except for those two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
definitely.
Makes sense.
I definitely agreed with you. I think that the post match was really strong. They grabbed the duct tape and they taped Adam Page to the ring ropes, and Adam Page has to watch on as the Dark Order, Silver and Reynolds get just destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also see obviously Hangman get kind of beat down a little bit too. Man, saying it every week, Adam Page is the top babyface in professional wrestling right now. Guy's killing it. I think it's going to be a great match. I find the feud a little annoying because I keep stumbling on their names because they're both Adams. So
Yeah.
apparently that's something I'm learning is very difficult for me, is talking about two guys named Adam at the same time.
If you're
with it
watching,
as best I can.
if you're watching, I had to like close my eyes and I say Page and Cole. Like,
Yeah, it's not easy, but no, this is a great way to end the go home show. I mean, all around, I think this was an excellent Dynamite again. I mean, they're on this really big hot streak right now where since like middle of December, like there has not been a good show yet. It's just been home run after home run for me. What do you guys think?
yeah, absolutely. This, like I said, every single week, I feel like Dynamite is just as good, if not better, than the last week. They just knock it out of the park every time they throw the pitch down the plate, man. They're just knocking it out of the park. I can't wait
And yet
for
you
this
haven't
pay-per-view.
given it a 5 yet. I can't wait to hear what a 5 is for you.
Oh, I mean, so my 5 would be like the greatest episode ever, and I have that down right now as the episode with Danielson versus Adam Page to the 30-minute draw, I believe.
Okay.
So, when we get a match that lives up to that one, it'll probably get a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. I would definitely say that it was extremely good. It's the consistent, for me, it's not if it's good or bad, is it must see TV. And I will say that lately they've been on I must see this every week hot streak.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm like, do I need to see it or do I not need to see it? And every week consistently I've been like, I need to see this. I need to see this. Like they at least got one thing, and I'm like, oh, I need to see that. And literally in every show, I go, oh, I need to see that. You just kind of do that mumble to yourself, and that's how you know you're hooked. And they got their little AEW hooks in me, and I'm like, ooh, I need to see that again.
This is gonna sound weird, but one of my favorite parts of the show actually came the final 30 seconds when they were focusing on Adam Cole with the camera. And they absolutely nailed this camera shot with Cole standing there and Page duct taped to the ropes behind him. They nailed that camera angle, and I was just like clapping. I was like, yes. And it made Adam Cole look fantastic to finish off the show for the Revolution.
And I can tell you exactly why they did it and where that's going to come in. I'm just going to predict where that is going to be the last shot of the preview package before the match starts, is going to be that in black and white.
Nice.
It's going to be that shot. I am like so certain that is going to be the shot as they like do that fade out and like that echoey noise. You know what
I could also see it being the ending of the match on Sunday, where it's like that exact same frame with Adam Cole standing there, not looking at Page, and Page hits him with the buckshot when he turns around.
Yeah,
I could see
literally
that
As
the
I was
shot.
speaking, somebody just posted that picture of Adam Cole standing there with Paige behind him. Like literally as I was speaking it, that picture popped up on my screen.
That's great.
That was nuts.
You know,
I retweeted it. I
there
was
was
like,
something. There was something in seeing, and then they zoom out a little bit more. Now that we're talking about this shot, and I wanted to actually bring this up, so perfect. As they zoom out a little more, and you see reDRagon standing next to them,
yeah.
and I flashed back to that NXT Undisputed Golden Era, which I watched. I was a very big fan of it. This is before AEW, and I flashed back, and I'm like, damn, I think I want them to win all their matches this week. I think I want them to be. I want them draped in gold again.
Oh yeah. Could
I
you
think
imagine being Triple H and
I'm like,
watching this tonight?
What was that?
Could you imagine being Triple H and watching this tonight, being like, "You got to be fucking kidding me"?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
He did all that work.
He's
Sad
like, "I
time to be
built
part of
this,
that.
and now it's over there."
Yeah.
Yep.
Feel
It's
for
like,
the guy. Really.
I did all this work, and now they're just gonna do it over there better, with none of the restrictions I had to work around. So
All right.
it's just I don't. It was just that visual. I'm like, ugh, I want them to have their championships again.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they didn't try to bust open Paige on this one to, finish off the show, because we already had a lot of blood with Punk. So I'm glad they just kind of left him tied up, and that was it. That was good.
Good take. It also makes Punk's more impactful. That he was
Exactly.
the only
Yep.
one that bled.
Definitely.
Completely agree.
All right. So do we have the Rampage card set?
I do. Okay, so we have a triple threat match. Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Andrade were the TNT title. There is no interference allowed, pending suspensions and fines, as per Tony Khan. So we should not get any interference in this match. I think it's really interesting that we're doing this match before the pay-per-view. I'm sure it's going to be really good. I see Sammy kind of retaining here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that'll be a fun match.
Yep.
We have Keith Lee will be in action. I don't know who it's against because it wasn't announced. Depending on how much they want to do promo wise during this Rampage, this match could probably go really any length of time based off what else is announced. It could be a 20-minute, it could be a 2-minute, so we'll see what happens. Serena Deeb will be doing another 5-minute challenge.
Yes.
And then we have a Face of the Revolution qualifier match. This one was kind of surprising. And we're really coming down to the wire right before the pay-per-view to get it done. But it's Ethan Page versus Christian Cage.
Ooh.
Yep.
Both of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a very unique Rampage card. Very not something we see very often. I think it'll be fun.
Utilizing some people before the pay-per-view who aren't getting on TV. I like it.
Yeah, because also it narratively makes sense, because anything with ladders makes sense that Christian wants to be a part of it. That's just a given. However, Ethan Page was in like the last two of them. He was either in the first one or he was in the last one.
Yeah, I think he was in both, actually. You might be right.
Yeah, so it's like I could totally see him being like, yeah, of course I'm going to qualify. I've been in every single one so far. And then I also see Christian being like, well, it's ladders. I'm Christian. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
that's ooh. They both narratively have just as much reason to be in to qualify, and that makes it way more interesting to watch. Ooh.
Yeah. I think it'll be a really fun match to watch, and it's going to be really good. We are in the middle of Revolution Week. We haven't really touched on the significance of that, but it's a great week to be an AEW fan. I mean, even Dark and Elevation this week were much better shows in my opinion than what they usually are. It's a really good week, and Rampage is no different. Also announced for the buy-in, we are going to do a full pre-show predictions pod when we recap Rampage. But we did get Chris Statlander versus Layla Hirsch for the buy-in, which is, I think it's going to be a pretty good match. And then we got Hook versus QT Marshall for the buy-in. I think this is a great spot to put Hook because everybody can watch the buy-in.
And also that feud's been kind of like,
Yeah,
that feud's been kind of like, it's like, when is he going to get to QT? And he keeps punking QT, and now he's gonna QT. We're gonna watch him. We're gonna watch him finally, like, because it's like the people he's been fighting were students lately, right? QT students.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been feuding with the factory. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna actually see him take out the factory leader. That's kind of cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great spot for him, and it's a good. It's elevated beyond Rampage too. So even though he didn't make the pay-per-view card, which again I don't think Hook should be on pay-per-view yet, putting him on the buy-in is like really perfect spot for this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So real quick, let's get to this Ring of Honor situation here. So Tony Khan just released a big presser on his Twitter page. I don't think I'm going to read this whole thing because it's like 6 paragraphs, but I'm going to go through a little bit of it here real fast.
I think it might be the one I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I think.
So here we got, it's Tony Khan announces agreement to acquire Ring of Honor that will include the video library, the brand assets, the intellectual property from independent professional wrestling's most prestigious promotion purchased under new partnership with Tony Khan. So he essentially has it all. He's got their entire library, including All In. We finally got the whole story of AEW. I'm absolutely loving it. And to be honest, if the stories today were true about it costing anywhere between like $10 to $60 million, that's more than they have made as a company at the moment if you go above the $20 million mark. So for him to make that purchase is kind of wild, but I'm glad they've done it. And seeing the way that they said Ring of Honor may turn into the next or to their version of NXT, I think the future looks really bright for this. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that this is a great thing for wrestling fans. If you're not happy about ROH being bought by AEW, you're not a professional wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And that's okay. There is a product out there for you that you can watch 3 hours on Monday and 2 hours on Friday, and that's, go for it. But this is a great thing for professional wrestling. Again, I think ROH should be used as a brand. If they use it as developmental, I think that makes it even better because it will let Elevation and Dark get kind of used a little bit better for the roster. Instead of doing those types of matches so much on Dark and Elevation, maybe we can get it spread out a little bit more. Give the roster more room to breathe.
Dark can have some stories.
Exactly. And again, it's a really great thing. It's the type of investment you want to see Tony Khan make. I mean, it's the same thing in the video game sphere right now, with a lot of companies getting bought up. Like, you want to see these companies put the effort out for the customer and spend this money to make their product better. And this is no different. It's really important. That's great.
Agreed. All of that. Yes. Yeah. You want that better product for the people.
Right.
Yeah. And people are going to be like, oh, another big promise by Tony and he doesn't come through. Ring of Honor being purchased isn't a big deal. And I can't wait to smash people that say that tomorrow, because that is absolutely not the case. This is a big deal. If you don't think it is, it's a big deal. Trust me. This is going to lead to a streaming service and a library that AEW will have to generate a really good amount of revenue. And I didn't even know this until today, but people that live in Scotland and Europe, they don't have a specific way to watch AEW. They have to kind of figure out where to watch it every week, because certain channels will have it and then sometimes they'll just decide not to have it. So once Europe finally gets their dedicated channel, which is almost assuredly to happen, you know, once all of this is put into place. It's going to be a big deal. I have a feeling things are looking very, very bright for the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good news. It's stuff to be excited about. It affects the company positively on just about every level you can imagine. I mean, again, they can use it as a storyline, um, with the return of the Codester, maybe leading it. Maybe you
Yeah.
never know.
Oh yeah.
But you can do storyline stuff with it. You get the library. You can use it as another promotion, another brand. Like Tony Khan's going to get his money's worth, and he's also preserving wrestling history. I would be very excited to get that ROH library. As a big CM Punk fan, I've never really, I didn't watch ROH really too much in that era. So I would love to go back and watch CM Punk's ROH days and say, I've watched his whole career.
Yeah, if that library, as soon as it's available, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm going to watching the CM Punk matches.
Well, here's a little theory I got regarding that library. I think we are going to see clips from the first two matches between Adam and Adam during the preview package, and that will just be a flex to show that they have the library now and they can show those on the pay-per-view.
So you're talking Adam Cole and Adam Page had a match a long time ago in Ring of Honor?
Yeah, they had the first. This is their third. They said this would be their rubber match. They had two matches in Ring of Honor, and they never had a third one because he went to NXT.
That's right.
So,
they went separate ways.
Yes. So this is why they're like, oh, this is the third one, and they're playing it like it's the third one, and they're already in that. We already know each other so well, and that's why they keep putting that over in commentary, and then they announce this library. I think in the promo preview package that we get before, I'm hoping we get to see each victory, like at least a flash of it.
Yeah.
As also like a flex of like, we have the library now.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
What if ROH becomes this developmental brand, the NXT of AEW, if you would, and Tony Khan, he has to announce a general manager of ROH. What if William Regal comes out?
Oh,
what if Cesaro comes out?
I'd melt in my chair, dude. I love William
I think William
Regal.
Regal would be a great spot there. I think, he was doing this with NXT. He clearly loved doing it. And what if he's like, hey, just come over here and do the exact same thing with young guys coming up in the business, in Ring of Honor? I think that would be pretty damn cool.
Dude.
Didn't he train some of them too?
Yeah, he did a lot. Right? William Regal had done a lot. He was a Triple H guy in NXT, and those Triple H guys, they did a lot of work for a lot of talent.
Dude, I am a huge William Regal fan. One of my earliest memories as a child of wrestling is William Regal wrestling Goldberg, and instead of just getting squashed like everybody else was, he kicked Goldberg's ass for like 8 minutes and forced him into a long match where, he got fired for that. I'm pretty sure you guys know.
He did, yeah.
And like, that's like burned into my memory as a kid. I remember asking my dad, I was like, Dad, how's this guy kicking Goldberg's ass like this? And my dad actually knew him. He's like, that's William Regal, man. So I love me some Regal. I could not believe that they got rid of him from NXT. I was like, dude, you got absolute morons in charge here right now. But that's another topic for another day. Again,
Yeah, I remember we were on our way to the AEW show in Newark.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, they just released William Regal, and you were like, what? You were driving? I was like, calm down, don't swerve off the road. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was not happy.
But it was made up for because we had a great night at Dynamite.
Yeah. All right. So, Forrest, you're going to be able to join us for Rampage this Friday?
I'm going to try.
Let's say Saturday. I actually have work at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning. So let's say Saturday afternoon at like 1 p.m. That would be great.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. I don't mind.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We'll figure it out behind. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll post it all out there and see what's going on. All right. Well, you guys got anything else to add for tonight? Anything else?
I do have actually one little thing. Again, it's a pretty cool news story, but it got overshadowed by obviously Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Tony Khan had a media call today, and there were some really interesting tidbits he talked about. But the one that I really took note of was he was asked about trios titles. It was actually Sean Ross Sapp that asked about it, and he said that there are trios titles coming, but it's something that he wants to wait until Kenny Omega returns.
Mm.
Ooh.
So, Mark, keep that in the back of your mind. They are doing trios titles. He didn't straight up confirm it, but he said, like, I don't remember the exact wording, but it was like, we're waiting till Kenny gets back to dive into that. So it's like, if you're waiting for Kenny, then you're probably going to do it once Kenny Omega returns. So yeah, get excited. The trios titles are coming still. We just gotta wait for Kenny Omega.
Can't wait for Kenny to come back, but I do not want him to come back until he is fully healed up. I want that shoulder at 110%. I don't want the ring spinning on him at all. I hope that's not a permanent thing. It seems fairly dangerous to have to wrestle in a spinning ring, but we'll leave that to him.
Yeah, that's the boy. We want the boy to be good.
Yeah. I can't wait for him to come back. He's greatest wrestler on the planet right now.
Literally, he trends on Twitter like every Wednesday or something, and it's like Kenny Appreciation Day every Wednesday.
There's an account that I follow that every morning they post it's like day 99 of missing Kenny Omega, and they post a different picture of Kenny from throughout the couple years. And I'm just like, I love this account.
That's great.
All right. Well, I do appreciate both you gentlemen for joining us. Forrest, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, it's always a blast.
Right on. And Rome, you as well. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Get hyped. Revolution is days away.
Let's go.
And real quick before we go, I'm going to show the camera here this beautiful Sting Series 2 number 9 figure. This will be given away when we hit 100 subscribers. I will be making a video, and in that video, you'll be asked to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. And a winner will be chosen from the comment section to get this awesome Sting, which is really hard to find. So
that is really pretty.
We're nice. To that. Now I'm knocking everything over, knocking the mic over.
Now, question. Can hosts win the Sting action figure?
What's that now?
Can like co-hosts win the Sting action figure? I'll like and subscribe.
I don't believe so at the moment, but I got other stuff for you guys, so no worries.
I had to shoot my shot, so
yeah. All right, well, again, thank you guys, and we will be back. Looks like maybe Saturday afternoon, but we will actually figure that out, and we'll probably post some stuff on Twitter, let you guys know when we'll be back. But other than that, everybody, have a great night. Peace.
Peace. Bye.